Look, it's a new wave. Before I touch earth, God had my plan paved. Don't let me get in the spirit, them demons getting slayed. If you live by the sword, you dying by the blade. Always stay one move ahead, never can be played.
What's up, world? It's your boy Blaquemozes and 60 Cal back again with another episode of just two G's talking. Two or one, and we got a honorary G in the house named Julia Vanessa Kappler. What's up, sis? Back again. That sounds like, isn't that a hip hop album?
Yes,
back again.
It definitely is.
Yeah, back again. Let's go. What's up with you?
We're about to find out.
Got those teeth showing, man. Them pearly whites, so smiling already. 60 Cal, what's going on?
Hey, man. You know me, man. Just happy to be back.
Happy to be back. I'm happy
man.
you are back. I'm happy you are back. I'm happy she's back.
Another pod.
Pod. No cap.
No
N-O, capital K-A-P-P, German chocolate, a.k.a. also known as. I thought you weren't laughing.
You started it, man.
It's German chocolate, man. For those that know, they know. If you know, you know. Yeah. If you know, you know. So, what's going on in your world? Since you came on the podcast last time, what did you think?
When was that? Was that a month ago?
Dang, was it a month?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Yeah, it was over a month.
Yeah, over a month.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Did you have fun? Was it your first
My first what?
podcast?
First one with you guys,
Yeah.
yes.
What did you think? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it?
I think we all saw the video of me laughing, so I think that's proof enough.
DP time.
Yeah.
Brothers have. We
Okay.
can be late sometime. Okay.
Okay.
I ain't gonna be late.
Okay.
If I. Oh my gosh. Your mom enjoyed it. You said your mom
My
enjoyed
mom, yes, I think she
Yeah.
probably watches it every day.
it. Oh my. That's awesome. Thanks, Mom. We appreciate that high view count. like, share, and subscribe. That's what we need to do, right? Like, share, and subscribe.
Did anything change in like your personal, professional life, like mindset or something like that you didn't anticipate coming from after our podcast?
I don't think that anything major changed, but there were a lot of things that I hadn't thought about in a long
Okay.
time that we kind of, you tried to dig up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good. That was the goal.
Yeah, you said try to dig up. That's interesting.
Yeah, let's take that.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my best friends
Okay.
watched the podcast. He's like, Julia, I actually learned something about you. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, there were 3 things I did not know about you. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is awesome. I love that. Do you want to share one of those 3 things?
I don't even remember all of them.
But she remembers.
My bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it a friend from Charlotte? Friend from
From
Okay.
Charlotte.
That's awesome.
That's interesting considering the time you spend there.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you walked into Charlotte because I think a lot of people reached out to us that really wanted to know what happened during the Charlotte years.
Yeah.
Is that one of your questions, man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
What took place in those 2 silent years? What did Julia, how did Julia grow?
Yeah.
What did she overcome? What did she do in those 2 years coming from Germany, hitting Charlotte?
Yeah.
The first 2 years.
The first 2
Yeah.
years, the
Or we
silent
could-
years, you had no friends, remember?
Yeah. Or we can even break it down. Like you
Yeah.
come in, so you get the call, you land in Charlotte, your first week, boom. What happens? Find a place, culture shock. Like what's on your mind?
Yeah. The first thing that happened is I had to pack my whole life into suitcases.
Okay.
And I actually flew to New York. So flew to New York to attend a big trade show where I just met a bunch of people. And then that was my first time in New York, actually.
Okay.
And then from there, a couple of days later, I would fly to Charlotte. Back then, my dad was actually with me. And we came here, and we already had an apartment set up because you don't move to another continent and then, hello,
Yeah,
here I am.
You want to come homeless.
Hello, apartment. So that was already kind of set up, and I honestly think that I have removed a lot of my memory of those first 2 years because there were a lot of very, very, I would say, not so easy moments.
Okay. Yeah.
With, just kind of picturing again that young person that
Yeah.
now enters all these rooms where there's some specific moments that I very, very much remember, but I truly think you guys just asking that question, I have not thought about those years in a really long time.
Yeah. That's go ahead.
Did you discover something about yourself in those 2 years that has helped you today?
Yeah, I just had a conversation with someone actually yesterday at my friend's birthday party, and we're just talking about something that we touched on in the podcast as well, about how were you so resilient? How
Right.
did you just not care about what other people would say? And that person that I was talking to said that currently in this moment, and that person is, I think, in their 20s, where
Okay.
currently they struggle with this, hey, I have these ideas, but people don't really think I can accomplish them. And I was kind of sharing my story, and they said, well, how did you just overcome all of that?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think there's just something inside me where if someone tells me that you can't do it, I want to just do it.
Right.
The opposite of what happens to a lot of people, where if someone tells you can, they say, well, I guess they told me I can, so I guess I'm incompetent. But it is the opposite to me. So the first 2 years, truly, every single time someone challenged me or told me, oh, you don't belong here, you can't do this, it just lit up a fire inside me.
Right.
To just keep going.
Right. So you said those there were some moments. What is a hard moment? Like you're traveling around with dad, like in Charlotte, you're I would assume completely oblivious to what dad really wants. So you got to kind of like go around and see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So you get here, you find a place, you're shadowing dad, you're watching how he moves.
Yeah.
You're this young white female in the South, and you're entering rooms where a lot of people don't enter until they're well into their 30s, maybe even 40s.
That's good.
And so what is it? What was the first confrontation that you felt you dealt with spiritually or energy, or just like something's different here? I'm feeling kickback. What's a big kickback that you got?
I definitely think I noticed it the most whenever we would go to events and trade shows, where my dad in the beginning traveled to some of those with me. We went there together. Whenever there was people that he was talking to and I was standing right next to him, people would ignore my existence.
Yeah.
To a point where, you know, when you approach someone,
Right.
you give them your hand pre-COVID
Yeah.
and say hello. And I did not exist for them.
Okay.
They wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't even say hello.
Wow.
It's very much ignoring my existence.
God, that's huge, because I was in a can you turn me down just a second?
Yeah.
I was in a conversation with a colleague, and we were talking about women in business and women today in business, and a lot of stuff. It's funny how as men we don't take some stuff into consideration. We just assume that battlefield is even.
Right,
Like,
right.
you know, we just think men. Matter of fact, when you think about who do I want to be a mentor to me, you just automatically think men.
Right,
As a man.
right.
She sent me this picture, and we could put this picture up. And
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
about
yeah,
this
yeah.
picture when she sent me this picture, and it stuck with me. And I thought about our podcast. But if you look at that picture, what does that say to you?
Yeah.
Is that what you're walking through and still walking through? Or, here you go.
Okay. Let me check
Yeah,
that.
we're both walking the same path,
Yeah.
but we have different
Wow.
stones, rocks, and all of that on our way to get to the finish line.
I thought about I have two granddaughters, and while we're in this conversation, she sent me this picture. I couldn't stop thinking about my grandchildren. Like, whoa, how can I
Yeah. That's
do
good.
something, or what can I share with them, how to overcome this same little roadblocks that they run into? What would you give advice to a young lady out there? Wow, look at this. They say it's even, but it's not.
You know, I have this conversation a lot with women, and I strongly believe that there's two ways you can look at it, and I think only one of them is the way to actually get through it. So one, we can look at this image and say, oh, there's all this stuff in my way. It's not fair. It's so much harder. We can look at that and just complain about what it truly is.
Okay.
Or we can look at that and we can realize this is the world we live in. So how am I going to actually get there despite
Yeah,
what's
that's
in my
good.
way.
Despite.
Despite.
Good word.
Yeah,
Good word.
I love that.
How much is I've had a talk with one of my granddaughters, and how much can be helped by just surrounding yourself with the right people? Can a team help? Can having the right people on your team help? But does it automatically come back to still? I've got to have this dogged determination.
I think the right people is everything.
Okay.
I think especially having people around you that maybe have already accomplished the things that you want to accomplish, or at least people that can see as far as you can see, because the ones that speak out into our dreams are the ones that just can't see it.
Okay.
That's good. That's
Wow.
good. That's good.
Wow.
I knew you'd have an answer for that, bitch. So now when I send them the pod, they got an answer from.
Yeah.
Because I thought,
That's
how can
beautiful.
I explain this from a man's point of view?
Yeah.
Let's ask from someone who's in the trenches.
Right.
I mean, that was a good answer.
Yeah. Because we're built different. We're barbarians. we take pain a little bit different. So when you said they would ignore you, how did you overcome that? So you had to get used to that. I guess there's a point where you have to go, okay, I'm not going to take this personally. They think, this is handed to me. And I can see people, I can see other women, I can see dudes today. Oh man, your dad did that. You got hooked up, you got the family business, it was handed to you on a platter. And I think that's kind of I hate that statement, because you got to have some kind of clout to take over the business. Because I know a lot of family businesses, especially in Cleveland, that when the next generation got it, it failed, or they wanted no part of it. So we had a restaurant in Cleveland for years. It was a staple from me in elementary school all the way into adulthood, and I went back to Cleveland to visit, and the establishment is gone. And it was a staple in the city of Cleveland as a restaurant, but the kids just didn't want it, or they ran it down in the ground. So there is some weight and some quality to be able to carry on the family business and do that. So how did you move from, okay, these dudes don't want to touch me, they don't want to shake my hand, they're totally ignoring me, to now you're the person that when you walk in the room, you the damn man, So it's just like, and did you ever see any of those people like, oh damn, she did this like 10 years ago, they was giving me the, oh sorry, I don't know if I can flip off on YouTube, they were giving me the finger, now they in my face. So then you got to adjust that. So you're dealing with the rejection, and then you're dealing with the hustlers, and So break that down for me, sis.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say that all of that made me lock in the way that I actually did, where I decided I have to just learn everything much, much, much faster than anyone else has, because I did not get to just, you just join the company and you just learn all these different things. There was no company in the United States.
Wow.
There was nothing. So it's just...
There was nothing here. Remember that.
It's just, hello here, and now let's build it. And I think that was the reason why I was so determined to learn, because I was like, I know that everyone believes that I'm incompetent. I know that there's people that think that
handed to you.
Exactly. Well, you're just the daughter. You're not your own person. And because I knew that was my reality, I didn't take that and then just sit down and, throw the towel. I took that and said, despite all of that, I am going to prove that I actually am the person that I say I want to be.
That's fine.
I admire it. I mean, your story is remarkable, and it's not even done.
Yeah.
But I'm just in awe of the 2 years. I can't shake that. To lock in.
Yeah.
That requires some discipline that it had to come from inside and from where you go. So I want to ask you a crazy question. What lesson can you say, just one lesson for me, what lesson can you share that you got from your father, and one lesson from your mother that you can share? Because you just don't go through 2 years of silence and do what you've done without some deep lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, there's many. I think that the biggest one, I think I already said that last time.
I want to go deep.
That my dad has always taught me and my siblings is that if you want something, work for it, and you can achieve it. There's no reason why. And I remember when I was younger, when there was, I don't know, MSN Messenger and all those where you could have a status message.
Right.
Even 15 years ago, my dad's status message was always never say never. And it's a very basic saying, but it's not basic for him because that is truly his motto in life where it's never say never. And if they say you can never do this, you can never do that.
Okay.
I knew there was something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about mom?
My mom, I think she always made sure to just remind all of us, my siblings, myself, to just keep your heart and lead with your heart.
Oh, that goes, come on.
Oh, okay.
That's good, Mom. That goes right into my next question. Okay, I'm like,
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I told you about, I want to share this with you.
Another picture?
No, it's just, no, this, I never look at my phone. So that picture hit me when you were talking.
Oh.
Okay.
But this right here, your mom did a post. And the first time I've watched it like 10 straight times. I'm not joking. The first time I watched it, I admired the craftsmanship.
Yeah.
I personally, sounds really weird, I personally like to buy my wife purses. It's a strange thing. I like to surprise her with purse or something that I know she caught her eye. I'll just go get that purse.
Right.
So I just think about it. So she did a post with a purse. Caught my attention right away.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the post. I'm looking, first I was admiring the craftsmanship going, wow, that's a nice. And the design was something I'd never seen. But it was, I went through and I was like, wow, that was awesome. Red fire. Then I watched it again. But the third time I watched it, I took my eyes off the purse. It's what she said that stuck for at least 2 weeks. Every morning I looked, I wrote it down and I put it in my notes to look at it. And this, God, I got to find it real quick. We're live. No pressure, Calvin.
No pressure, Cal. He's on the spot. Yeah, man.
It's funny, I saved it. It's
Did
pinned.
You? Okay.
The words of the post said, every masterpiece starts with the first cut. The beauty is in the work no one sees. Progress takes shape one step at a time. That is your sign to keep creating. It says, you are the art, you are the fire. I speak in color, I shape with fire.
Come on.
That statement stuck with me to a point, it hit the wall. Now, Mike knows when stuff hits my wall.
What?
I look at it over and over. It resonates. So when I'm sitting there reading this, I'm going, fire, art, everything. That's why I asked you, what gift did you get from your mother? Because this statement stuck to me.
That's beautiful.
Like you, I mean, when she was talking about the beauty is in the work no one sees, the 2 years you put in, the early mornings, the grind,
the stairs.
No one sees what you're doing.
Still happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know.
This
never stops.
Progress takes shape one step at a time.
Yeah.
The discipline required of you taking those steps in each thing that we do. And then the part that knocked me on my face was you are, I personalize it.
Okay.
Calvin, you are the art. Calvin, you are the fire. Like life itself is an expression to embody like your purpose and just don't talk about it, do it.
Yeah.
Because she was, when she put the words with that picture, she was creating that point. Then at the end, I think you were walking and it said, I speak in color and I shape with fire. Like, it just made me realize it's okay, Calvin, to think big and dream big. It's okay to be unapologetically bold.
Yeah.
Because that's what that purse was.
Yeah.
When I read that to you, is that mom?
Yeah.
God. Oh, Mom, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I just wanted to give you yours.
Yeah.
But what part of that, I mean, is that mom that you carry?
I think
unapologetically bold. Remember
Right. Yeah.
I think the inspiring and encouraging side she has developed over probably the past years, or not developed but expressed.
Yes. That's good. That's good.
I would say that when I first moved over here, she was more so just, she's a mom. So
Yeah,
she was worried. Is she okay? She's so far away. She's
Right.
just young.
Right. Right.
I think she was more so worried, and she was always just checking in and making sure that I'm good, because she knew that I already had this other parent that
Right.
always pushes.
Right.
So they're very much yin and yang. Okay, he's
That's smart,
pushing,
though.
and then
That's
she's
smart.
just, hey, are you okay? Da 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 da.
Yes.
So
I think that's beautiful, man, because mom was in that nurture moment, and oh man, this is good. Slow down. She's in that nurture moment. Once I feel once mom realized that you were good, she was able to do what was in her and release the beauty in it. And mom, your stuff is incredible. I fell across your page just following Julia, and those purses and the designs are absolutely fire. We're going to put that on social media too. We're going to blow you up. But the design and the quality and the art, and then I'm just hearing for the first time what Calvin just read, and I'm just mind blown. I got to put that on my wall. That's a beautiful thing. And when I think about her, when I see her, when I watch her on social media, I see all that's in your parents come out in you.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, because now mom can live. And I know a lot of mothers deal with this, even my wife. Like, who am I once everybody kind of leaves home? And what am I going to do? And, I'm not just work anymore. They love being mom, but it's like, what do I find that's me? And Lisa and I talk about that. And I think watching your mom do that is so beautiful. And then I get to sit and chat with you, and I'm like, oh, this is where it comes from. And him sharing that and you saying what you said prior led me into a question that a lot of people think, or I see a lot of people get in trouble with, and my cousin talked to me about this. When you're successful and money isn't an issue, and you can do what you love to do what you like to do, and live bountifully, how do you not get a God complex? And what I mean by that is, you can do your desires. How do you stay humble and say, even though I have the world is not where my value is? How do I see the small things as well as just as much as I enjoy the big things? How do you navigate that? And do you ever catch yourself in those kind of modes where you have to be like, whoa, pipe that down. Let me rear this back. I'm getting a little, because you have to check yourself. There are people that don't check themselves and end up in a situation. So how do you balance that? How do you navigate with that?
there's this saying, I have no idea who said it, but
Okay.
it says that people think that money changes people,
Okay.
but money brings out the person that you really are.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I know it.
And I truly believe that
Mm-hmm.
with also many, many people that I've met
Okay.
throughout my life,
that's
where
good.
you have seen that, and you will meet the most humble and kindest human beings that are multimillionaires, that are such successful people, and you'll never know it.
Right.
Then you see a person that you know is flashy and has all of that, and they might not talk nicely with the server
Yeah.
or the janitor
Yeah.
because that is who they are at their core. And I believe that money just enables you to show it more,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
maybe it makes you bolder.
Right. Right.
So I think if you at the core are a kind human being,
Yeah.
you will continue to be that
Yeah.
if you have money.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. I agree.
Have you ever had to walk away from something that looked good on the outside, but
Absolutely.
inside
she
that
answered
inside you're going? Where does the courage to walk away come from?
I think how it makes me feel if I don't walk away.
You visualize what's, I got you. That's good.
That's
got you.
good.
I got you. Because I can see, especially a lady in the business world, it's a shiny object sitting inside, and not just women. It's
Right.
everyone.
Yeah.
That looks really good. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
We hear it all the time. But
Yeah.
this was too good to be true.
Yeah.
But everything that says yes, on the outside, in your gut, it just don't feel right. And so many people don't walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also think that if you do a lot of the inner work, where some people it comes easy to them, other people they have to read books and go through it, and it might take more years, but once you kind of get to a certain point, what we consider as shiny things is not shiny to us.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
You have a unique ability at your age to stay you.
Yeah.
You it seems like you're just grounded in who you are. You have been in rooms with power, money, success. You've been in those rooms. How do you, I should say it like this, when you're in these rooms, and I struggle with this, you're around some power, money, is there sometimes you feel like there's something missing in the room? Like all this power, all this success, and all this money, this is something missing here.
Yeah.
What's missing?
Depth.
Come on, man. Come on. Elaborate on that. If you're okay, if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
when I say, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
you don't have
saying-
to.
I'm gonna keep.
No,
depth.
that's depth.
Depth.
Yeah, we can dive
Yeah,
into
we
that
can-
without calling names. Yeah, what's depth mean? What is depth in that room?
I believe that everything in life is about relationships and human interactions, right? So if you're in a room where the only interactions are based on, what can I get from you?
Okay.
What can I take from you?
Yes.
Or who is best in this? Who's best in that? I'm going to
Yes.
Right.
just prove that I'm that. And I think that the people that just don't have depth, to them, that's
Yeah.
that's their baseline. That's
Right.
what they
Good.
can do. But if you actually care about some deeper meanings of human interactions, you can see
Yes.
through it.
Yes.
It's so clear.
Yes.
Oh, my
When
God.
you've done the work, you just
Yes.
see through it
Right,
without
right.
even having to try.
That's the word right there. When you put in the
fakeness.
work, you put in, because I like depth better. My answer used to always be, I'm sitting in these rooms, I just go, God, there's no soul in here. Like, does anybody have a soul?
Yeah.
It is all so, I don't like, maybe not the word fake.
Right.
But if you put in the work, that's a good way of looking. If you put in the work, it is so obvious
Yeah.
that something in this room among these people is missing.
Right.
That I choose not to be, on this side of the table where you're going, I don't want to live that life. But yeah, depth is, you hit it right on the head. Depth is missing. God, good
Yeah, I
job.
think that's perfect. And I brought up fake because we were talking about that on last week's episode, just the falseness of people living their lives and not being them. And it's just, depth is good. That's, in those rooms, just the depth. I can only imagine the shallowness of depth in rooms like that. You're just walking. Can you feel it walking in the room? I'm asking both of you. Can you, like when you walk, so you two are not shallow to me. So when you walk into a, I don't get to walk in some of these rooms. So this is kind of fun because I can ask them both a question. When you walk into these rooms that you guys feel that don't have depth, is there a vibration, an energy, or is it after you kind of communicate or you can sense it going into it, walking in the door?
I can say for myself, I feel energy at all times.
Okay.
I feel everyone's energy.
Okay.
You don't have to say a word. I
Right.
can just see you from across the room.
Right.
And I just get this, and I can't explain it to you unless you have that.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
Yeah, I agree
But I
with
can
you.
feel it.
You just
Yeah, I
did.
can feel it,
You
too.
just did.
Yeah.
You just did.
Yeah.
No, it's
And for you,
it's
Mr.
amazing. It's not really crazy. I walk into a room expecting to change the atmosphere. I expect
Yes, you said
I'm gonna
that.
walk in with something that it's either going, you're gonna like me or hate me.
Yeah.
But you can if you just walk into a room and you can pick up right away the vibe of a room.
Wow.
And I like the word energy better.
Right.
Some people just walk, no matter how big the smile is, the energy is just poison.
Ooh.
And you can pick it up right away.
Ooh.
And the difference is you just have to choose who you associate with.
Yeah.
Do you want to be you want to vibe with this negative energy?
Right.
You want to be with a positive. And be honest with you, if you just sit back at a table and chill, the energy will, I call it the prison yard look.
Okay.
This sounds really bad. I
No,
don't know if I
that's
should have
good. I
said
love the
it.
prison
It's like
yard.
prison yard. The energy separates it.
Okay.
The negative is with the negative, the good. I mean, almost like it.
Right.
And you go, wow, that side of the table is not very good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
stay on that side of the
Yeah,
table.
yeah.
Or I'm gonna be on this side of the room while
Yeah.
these guys are over there. But yeah, that's just, I liked what you said.
Yeah, I love that. So you changed the room, and then her poker face is serious.
I don't know if I actually changed it.
Yeah,
I just
I know
walk
what you're
in
saying,
with
but
with the mindset that, with not really a confidence again, but I just walk in. Just when I walk, I'm an upbeat person. I'm a positive person.
Right.
And I have value in the world, so I
Yeah.
just walk in like. Not that I own the room.
Yeah.
I don't go that
Yeah,
far.
I know what you're saying.
Cocky,
Yeah.
I just walk in looking
Coming
forward
in like
to.
Debo.
I look forward to meeting the right people and
Yeah.
conversing and learning and growing.
Right.
I mean, life is a constant state of preparation.
Yeah.
To me, and it's just, I'm just walking in. Where can I grow today?
Right.
And I just walk in like that.
I think it's beautiful. I think that's a trait that not just being in the rooms of success, but for the youngins coming up too. That's something that needs to be experienced on their journey up.
Yeah.
To be able to read those. Even with my kids, just saying, "Hey, man, you got to read the room, listen to what's being said, watch." Body language, and now they'll come in like, "Yeah, Dad, this happened, and I wasn't feeling it because I was getting this vibration." And Jalen said something about work the other day, and she was just like, she's like, "I wasn't feeling all that," and I'm like, and that's good. So you're not learning that in the room where you get manipulated and used. You have to learn some lessons. You have to learn some lessons in life, but you kind of have that awareness now of what's going on. To piggyback on that question. Does the energy in the room sometimes recognize you too when you walk in? Like,
I
Definitely.
guarantee.
you know what I'm saying by that?
guarantee
Do you know what I'm saying by that? Okay.
I would definitely say it does, and I will add that you don't just wake up and you're this person that
Right.
is aware of
Right.
it. It's a process.
Yes.
Years ago, I had no idea why I'm feeling all these
Yes.
things. Now I
I'm
understand.
glad you said that.
And we can dive deeper into that as well. But to answer your question, I definitely think once you're aware of it, that all of a sudden you're going to have these interactions where just random people walk up to you and tell you, "Oh, I love your energy." They just, you have not exchanged a word, and they just say, "Oh, I love you."
Yep.
So absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You hit the word. I was trying to get that earlier.
Okay.
But the preparation, these moments today, you along the journey developed it. At first, you were wondering, why do I feel this way? Why do I don't like this person? He's never talked to me,
Right.
Or and it. I hate to use this word. Was it developed in the hardships? People don't like. It's funny how people don't. I don't talk about hardships, but people get that hardship. I don't want to talk about hardships.
That's where many fold, though.
I'm a man based on my failures and mistakes. It's how you view it. Was it developed? Was developed during the hardships or the mistakes and the failures?
I think, and I'm obsessed with psychology, so
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
go.
go.
read a
Let's
lot
do
about it.
Yeah, let's go.
But number one, I am an introvert, right?
Yes.
So depending on who I am around,
Okay.
I have a social battery, and if there's people that align with my energy, it doesn't empty as quickly. Sometimes it still does.
Oh my God! You just talked about. I'm
But
sorry.
then other
like
rooms,
that.
it just immediately drains.
Mm.
And this wasn't so much in business, because when I enter rooms in business, you show up with a purpose of this is what needs to get done.
Yes.
Period.
I
Right.
noticed it more in my personal life, and
Yes.
we remember that I didn't have that for a couple of
Right,
years.
right.
So then when I did, and I started to have friends and kind of, I was in my early 20s, so I would go out and I would be invited to events, and I would go into all of these rooms and I would feel so overwhelmed.
Wow.
And I know I do not have social anxiety because I'm confident in who I am.
Yes,
And I
yes.
don't, it doesn't matter if you don't like me, but I felt so
That's good.
uncomfortable. And to really say this out loud to a point where sometimes I would literally just go outside of the building and just stand there because it was too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get it.
And yeah, then, not understanding what it was, but knowing I don't have social anxiety. What is it? And then one day, sitting down and just kind of reading about it and just digging deeper, I realized I was overwhelmed because of the energy of the people
That's a
was
real thing.
draining me so much. I was not meant to be in
so-
that room.
Good.
You hitting on all
You're
the topics.
hitting right on the topic.
This is like part 2 from last week's episode. You flowing right into it.
We were talking about our circles,
Yes.
how small they are. I like how you used the word introvert there, and well, I don't know what we should say that for that,
Yeah.
but we talked about how important it is to have an inner circle. How at one point in my life, where my inner circle was just, and as I got going, it just slowly to the point where if I didn't get something from this plug-in,
Right,
and
right.
you hit it right on the head. What did you call it? Social
Battery.
social battery. You got to
Love
pat.
that.
You need to
Social
pat
battery.
that or something.
I don't think I came up with that.
Okay, but I mean, my social battery, I became so conscious of it.
Yeah.
To the point where I had to start restricting, especially doing. I called people like I had friends for certain seasons.
Yeah.
Like if I was on a big project that
Right.
required, I had to cut some. I couldn't talk to you right now because, dude, I'm running on empty as it is. I plug into you right now, dude. I'm done. How much is that is real? How much is just Calvin in his head? Inner circle. Small, big, positive, negative. Are you very selective of who's around Julia? Or do you regulate when and how it happens?
Yeah, I'm very, very protective of my energy to a point where if I go somewhere and I just don't feel that that's a place where I'd feel good, I will literally leave.
Yeah. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a dinner. Me and my wife got invited to
I'm
a
glad she didn't
dinner.
leave here.
Yeah, that's a good point. We got invited to a dinner. I think I told you a story.
Yes,
We got
yes, you
invited to
did.
a dinner, and we got there a little earlier. And then my buddy and his wife invited us, and the couple we were going to have dinner with was there.
Right.
The vibe was so bad
Yeah.
that my wife was going, "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm just like, "Oh my God, this is," and I just said, "Pleasure meeting, goodbye."
Yeah.
Didn't even sit down. I didn't.
Yeah.
The other day, Calvin would have sat down and walked out feeling miserable.
Yes. Yes.
Now you said that. I like how you worded it. You said, "If I don't think it's going to be a great environment, I don't go." Mike brought up a good point last week. Has it cost you friendships? The price of an inner circle. Has it cost friends? Has it cost? I mean, I think the greatest thing right now. People say, "Oh man, my time. I got my time." My energy right now is the most important thing I'm protecting
Yeah.
Yeah.
right now.
I think everyone who's known me, especially since I moved to Charlotte, I've always been like this.
Yeah.
And they all know if Julia just does not like a space, she will leave. And they also know that
Yeah.
they can't convince me otherwise.
Wow. Wow.
See, that's good for people to hear, Julia. That is so
That's
good.
great. That's great.
I have friends who at 8:59 are grabbing their coats and they're out the door. They're never out after 9 because they said nothing but negative hits. Anything after 9 or 10 is just bad.
Right.
And they literally just, it's like a clock goes off in their head. What time is it?
Yeah.
Oh, gotta go. And they're gone. And
Yeah.
I used to think to myself, dude, they're
Yeah.
missing opportunities. No.
Right.
No, they didn't miss opportunities. They were taking care of themselves so they could be available to the opportunities.
Yeah.
Taking care of their energy, their mind is set there.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
people know it's that. People who know me, that's
Yeah.
very good. your circle, if they don't understand who you are, then they don't need to be in your
Then
circle.
they're not my friends.
Exactly.
Right.
People need to hear that.
Yeah.
People think they have to, I have to be this way for them
Yeah.
to accept me.
Yeah.
No, be you.
Yeah.
Be Julia. Be my. And then the ones who are supposed to be in your life will be.
Right. Right.
That's all I get.
Yeah.
And I also believe that whatever relationships, friendships we have, that it's whatever I bring into that, I'm expecting also to get something in return.
Reciprocation.
So if I show up for you when
Say
it
it.
counts, I
Say
expect
it.
for you to show up for me when it counts. Even if sometimes I might not have 100% of the energy to show up for you, but I will in those moments.
Julia,
You were hitting some topics that
man, your mom and dad did good. They did.
They
good.
did, yes.
Mom and
did
dad,
good.
y'all did good.
you know,
Oh my
and
god.
did good in the sense that they gave you just the confidence to go through what
Yes.
you're going through. Because this stuff you learned
Yeah,
through,
you got
through what you went through,
the fire.
Charlotte, New York.
Through the fire.
When you said friendships, and that is a topic with me and a lot of my friends right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel there's so many people out here who the term friendship has changed? I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna start
I
there.
was just,
Now, I have friends that I call friends,
yeah.
which is funny how you know with friends. The name friend, you got social media friend.
Yeah.
So are they really friends? But I'm not gonna go another
Right.
episode. Another episode.
Acquaintances.
Yeah, another episode. I mean, people think I have 800 followers. I have 800
Yeah.
friends. No, you
Yeah.
don't. No, you don't. I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I have some people I call them. Oh, this is gonna be bad.
Say it, bro.
I call them transactional friends.
Ooh.
They only call me when they need something.
Ooh, I got some of them too. I'm gonna have to go ahead.
But I always tell my wife, "Is that a friend?"
If you question it, that's your answer.
That's what I was getting at. If I say, "Wow, is this a friendship or is this a?"
That's your
this is
answer.
more like a business.
That's your
If
answer.
I have to ask, "Are you really a friend?"
Yep.
Right.
Now,
Right.
can I just pick up the phone and just talk?
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind being there for people, like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
and I'll be there. But like you said, it has to be
Yeah.
a mutual
Right.
thing. If I'm just giving, and in a time of need, you don't. And this guy knows I
Yeah.
went through a point in life where I was in a car accident and I had some things going on.
Yeah.
And I told him I kept a pad of who reached out and who didn't.
Right.
I literally was like, "Yeah, well, he reached out. Okay, he's on the list. And the ones that didn't, when I got through it,
Yeah.
I deleted it out of my phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was the hardest thing in the world. It was like,
Yeah.
but like you said, if you have to question,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real. Transactional friends.
but she said
Wow.
it's a two-way street.
2 weeks. That's good.
I may have just got the definition of friendship again.
Yeah. Because I know this week I was telling you there was a phone call I had that was draining. And I was just like, the circle just got smaller, you
Yeah.
know? And I hate to say that, but it was just like, I got off the phone like, man, I wasted 20 minutes of my life and I'm going to have this conversation with this person again next week. And I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I can't do it because, and it's not coming back to me. That's the other thing. It's not reciprocated. And, you know, you said like showing up, and I've been places and done things for people where I'm like, dude, I just want you to call or show up. Oh man, I had this going on. And, you know, but when your situation is happening, it's like, you know, Armageddon's happening and I pull up. But, you know, and that was the thing. I was always the kid, I don't want to say that wanted to be liked, but I got a big heart. And I think you're picking up on that too. So it's just like, actually, I know you are. But I mentioned last week, you know, it was to the point where I was just like, man, when you're honest and transparent with people, it's not received well. And I was sitting here giving pearls to people,
come on, that's
and they're
good.
just stepping on them, throwing them in the mud, giving it to somebody down the street. And I'm just like,
You're throwing it to swine.
yeah, I'm throwing it to swine, as the scripture says. So I'm just like, man. So when I reach out, and I think Calvin knows this, and you're picking up on it, it's a thing like, hey, man, I really like you. You know, I really like your energy. I like being around you. And I also had to learn, like, you know, I'm good without y'all. I can get my own energy. Like you said, it takes work to be able to be, Calvin mentioned it, to be by yourself and be okay with that. And that's where the fakeness, not being authentic with yourselves, where people are I call them like leechers, like, what are you doing? I got to be a part of that. I feel valuable. And it's just like, you're like, ooh, hold up, man. It was cute at first. And then I'm like, no, you got to get off me, man. My blood count is low. And but it's just like, but it's important. And I think you saying that, even you, like you said, you got to learn that though.
Yeah.
You got to learn that. It's not something mom and dads build foundations, but they know there's lessons you got to learn along the way. And you are taking those lessons and you're knocking them out the park. And I know it's not easy. You got something?
No, I'm
okay.
listening to you. I'm listening to you, man. I'm listening to you. I'm
sure.
just thinking social media makes it look like it's an overnight cookie cutter.
Yeah.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow after watching your 12 minutes and I'm going to have the best habits. I'm going to be this. And it just makes it, they don't talk about the journey is, like, I keep falling back to your 2 years. I'm not going to let that go, Julie.
Right.
Because it's those times when you can learn to be alone, like you said.
Yeah.
Let me stop. I'm not going.
No, but
I'm not going to go.
But no, the 2 years. So here we go. If you ain't spiritual, turn out for a minute. So Jesus goes into the wilderness. All that power. Julia goes in the wilderness for 2 years, alone. Everything's being thrown at you, and mom and dad have to go. This is where I cut the rope. Let's see what you made out of. And you have to go into that dojo, just like you box. I saw you this morning. You see that hook, uppercut, jab, swat, dab, row. And mom and dad like, yeah, go baby girl. Yeah, you learn it. Dip here, uppercut. And you have to go into that dojo and learn that. So you have to be able to be prepared to be let go and do that. So for you to do that for 2 years, and I know it costs you, and that kind of leads into my next question. We just gonna keep it real. I know I won't say I know. What do you feel that you lost on your way to being a G that you feel you sacrifice for greatness? And if you did sacrifice it, how do you live with that sacrifice? We'll make it simple. Michael Jackson, famous since he was freaking 6 years old. He lost the ability to be able to just go to the store without dressing in a costume because he's supremely famous. What did you feel at 20 or 19 that you were like, oh, I'm not going to get this like everybody else my age?
That's a very, very good question.
I love you, but it's going to be all right. You can answer.
I have thought about this question a lot, and I feel like I have changed my mind about that question a lot.
Okay.
Where I used to say that I never wanted to have that regular life that someone in their 20s has, because remember, I always thought I was different anyways.
Right.
I honestly think there's two things that I did missed out on. One of them where I had to just turn into this, I'll say adult.
Yes.
Really, really quickly.
Yes.
Where I think that even sometimes today that I don't allow myself to feel things deeply.
Okay.
So
That's good.
Yeah, that's
I
real
think
good.
I've missed out of joyful moments.
Okay.
And just happy moments because I was too busy to stress about business.
Right. That's valid.
And then just my friends and family back home.
Yeah.
When I wasn't able to be there for them because I had to work and I had to do that. So
wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Because your mother described you one time on a post. The bravest young woman I've ever known.
yeah.
That was huge. And I was thinking to myself, wow, for your mother to recognize you as, she could have said, oh, that's my little baby girl.
Yeah, right.
She recognized you as the bravest person.
Right.
And it just showed the level of respect that you earned among your family.
Right.
And that through this adventure, you've become a very strong woman.
Yeah.
And there's times me and Mike have talked about this. There's challenges with being recognized as a strong woman.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I touched on
Here
her
we go.
again.
Let's go.
I don't know if I like that sentence anymore. Strong woman, remove it.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
funny
From the
because,
dictionary.
it's funny. I have a friend that said the same thing. If there's anything else I can be other than a strong woman,
Yeah,
please,
yeah,
Calvin,
yeah.
text me. Because she does speaking engagements.
Okay.
And that's how they always seem to introduce her.
Yeah.
Very strong woman
Yeah.
she's
Right.
go, oh my God.
Right.
I'm going to start telling her, she said, if you come up with something other than strong woman, please send it to me. Because it is immediately connotated negative. How have you had to deal with that? How do you help a young lady saying, wow, I want to be a strong woman. I want to be a strong woman. I want to be recognized as,
Right.
what do you have to say to them? How do they handle that? Or how have you dealt with it personally and professionally?
I think why do we have to add strong in front of women?
Okay.
Come on.
Why can't that just not be part of who we
woman.
are generally?
I'm not a strong man just because I do what you
Right?
did.
It's like we all are.
Yep.
But I don't think that it ever really has bothered me if people would say it, because for a long time no one saw me like that, and I wanted
Right.
to be seen like that because I was just a little girl.
Right.
So I think I actually kind of wanted to more so be a strong woman versus little girl
Okay.
Okay.
for a long time. But to your point, I think that whenever people see someone that they consider a strong woman, that it just kind of takes away from their emotions and what they're feeling. It's, oh, she's okay. She's fine. She's strong. We
Yep.
don't have to check on her.
Yep.
She's got it. And yes, we do. That's why we're freaking strong. But
Yes.
that doesn't mean that we don't actually need it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the piece most people struggle with.
Yeah.
Society created you this strong. I had to be strong to get through this crap.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then I've always found it amazing that many times when a woman is successful, an adjective has to go before it. It's like they put something in front of it. Or if a woman is bold and not really, just confident in herself,
Right.
she's a bitch.
Right.
Can I say that?
Yeah,
Can I
you
say
can
that?
say it.
I mean,
Yeah.
people come across like, oh
Right.
my gosh, she kind of snooty.
Right.
No, I can say the exact same thing, and I'm looked upon as bold and confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if a woman says it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
who does she think she is?
Do it regardless.
And I'm going, yes.
That's what I'm
Did
going to
y'all-
tell
did you
everyone.
hear that?
Do
Did you
it
hear that?
regardless.
Do it anyway.
regardless.
Do it anyway.
Yeah.
I just think we're in 2025,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're still getting an adjective in front of
Right.
a successful
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
No matter what they accomplish, you still got, or it's like, you start questioning how she got there when, as a man, you just go, congratulations. I just started picking this up recently when you start getting into circles, and it's like, the reason I was asking that question, I wanted you to tell people, you just hit it right, do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Like, how do you walk in a room and just ignore this BS? How do you just walk in here knowing that that's what they're thinking and just say, you know what? Does it roll off? You just say to yourself, I'm here.
You know what I always say when people ask me is that you actually have an advantage being that woman because you know what they're thinking, but they don't know what you're thinking.
You know who your enemies
Superpower.
are and keep them close.
Oh my gosh.
You know, you hit around it. You know, I used to tell people all the time, you'd be in these circles and I'd be the only, well, I guess I'm not dark.
Yeah.
I'd be the only black guy in the room. And people just go, wow, how could you be in this room with all these, you know, you don't really black guy. Do you feel odd? Do you feel, and I used to always tell them, you know, this is me just dealing with some circles. Like, dude, it's a bunch of racists.
Yeah.
And I used to always tell people, I'd rather know that you're racist up front. If you let me know that you're racist, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
At least I know who you are.
Right.
If a person tells me, I just don't particularly care for your kind, I'm cool with, dude,
Yeah.
you do you, me do me. But at least you have, it's the ones who are fake.
Yeah.
And you thinking they're, Cal.
Yeah, Cal.
Cal. And then
Hey,
know
Cal.
deep down they can't stand me.
Mm-hmm.
Them the ones I
Saying
want
your
to
name.
say.
Oh, saying your name like that.
Yes.
The voice
Good point.
gets really high.
Michael. Hey, Michael.
The voice gets really high. That's how you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
We,
Oh, my gosh.
no, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Oh,
I'm
my
going to
God.
text you next time. I mean,
Yep.
we talk about this all
Yeah,
the time.
all the time.
Cal.
Cal. Hey, Cal. Hey, buddy. Hey, Julia. Hey, Julia. Come on over here. I got something for you.
Stop. I'm stopping. You messed it
I
up.
can't.
I'm
my
just
God.
laughing off.
I can't stand it, man. Hey, man, if you fake stay, we ain't got time for fake people.
Cal.
Like she said before, we don't have time for small talk. We don't do small talk.
Oh, yeah.
But you're right. I
I'm
love
there
that.
right now.
You had the advantage of knowing.
Dude, that's
that's powerful.
It's just,
That's powerful.
okay, it's a mindset. Mindset shift.
Everything
You
is about the mindset.
Because that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I am in awe of certain people, but
Right.
not. Oh, I take that back. I really not. Anyway, long story.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice when I say
Right.
it. I'm not really awe of anybody,
Yeah.
but just get it off there, Cal.
Yeah.
But I do like people's. I like to talk to people who have a deeper understanding of the mind or mindset. That's why I love talking to Kyle.
Yeah.
Just
What's
Kyle
up, Kyle?
challenges me mentally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He sent me a book or told me about a book and I
Right.
bought it. Why?
Yeah.
And he challenged me mentally. But when you're around the Julius and some people, it's their mindset, their perspective
Yes.
of everything
Yes.
that I really enjoy.
Right.
And it's done in the darkest times is when my mindset was developed. Or people always say, be around, surround yourself with the top of the line.
Yeah.
Not everybody want to share.
That's true.
Not everybody just openly go, here you go, Calvin. Here's the keys. It took me getting in front of them and took me, I'll get your coffee for free. Just share. I mean, whatever I do. Where Julia's here, and I have this thing, Julia, about if something doesn't scare me and excite me at the same time, I don't want to be involved. I mean, I'm at that point in life where I'm excited about this,
Right.
but it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good place.
That's
To me,
that's the best place
That's
to
like-
be in.
Yeah.
what is currently scaring and exciting Julia?
Well,
Drum roll, please, man.
Now that you went there,
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah. It's like, well.
I mean, it's business related. So,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
That's
most
cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
I don't-
Yeah.
so I can't share too many
Right,
details
right,
about
right.
it, but basically just what I have started to push forward.
Okay.
That is definitely risky, and some people have said that's crazy.
Okay.
Did it regardless. So I put myself in this position of, well, you didn't have to do that. Comfort zone was right here. It was good. But now you're here. And if you're feeling anxious or scared, you put yourself in that position.
Okay. Okay.
So when I feel that, I remind myself that you wanted that.
Right.
So,
Right.
You wanted that. Another mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you successful, Julia, because you just are you successful because you just have this dogged, never quit attitude, or is it just your perspective of what success is?
I think it's a mix of all of those things.
Okay.
I think it is your mindset, is your resilience, is to keep going, it's to accept the no's until you get the yes. But I also think that in order to get to the kind of success that I define as success,
Right.
which is impacting people and actually leave
that
something
word.
behind that's not just monetary. I truly and genuinely believe that you have to understand people.
Yeah. Psychology. It goes back to your
Yeah.
psychology. Ever
Yeah.
since you said that, that's all I've been thinking about. Is
Yeah, from leading a team, talking to clients and partnerships.
Wow.
That is what I genuinely believe is those are the three things.
So what does success again mean to you? What is
To
success
me?
to Julia?
I think it truly means making an impact. It's not about one person. It's not about me. It's about how can we impact the community, the country, the world, the industry. How can we create change and impact other people's lives?
The reason I asked that question, I kind of had a hint that was you, just based on your answers. And we were talking about negative energy. A person who success is about others can't be around people that's all about me, me, me.
Right.
You struggle with being around people that's just I this, I that. Oh my God, that's the negative thing I avoid. Or somebody just me start when you're here to impact others and make a definitive difference in the community, the world. That's success. You didn't say anything about Cal, man. When I get that new penthouse, Cal, when I get that, you hear so much. People just put success based on the title, or I'm the CEO, or whatever they're doing.
Right.
Yours is about impact.
Right.
What do you want to be, Julia, to be known for in the business community? Or you want to be known more for I was real, or you want to be known for the successes that you did with the company?
I think I want the company Kappler to be known for actually impacting the healthcare industry and creating better environments for the people that go there, the people that work there. That's the impact I want to create in healthcare for every single person that touches it. I think when it comes to myself, and I think I've had this in my mind for a long time, and over the past couple of months, it kind of became reality, is where I truly just want to share whatever I believe in, whatever I think is important with other people, because if I can inspire people to just maybe do this one thing that they were scared of, or maybe start the business, or those things, I want to just inspire them to become their best selves.
Your social media is trending that way.
Yeah.
Your new post and everything about it is saying, this is me. And I really like it. I think I think it's important that people see that there's more to, people they want to look at your track record and then judge you by your accomplishments.
Right.
But you're offering them more. It's more than just, there's a social side of you. There's a humanitarian side of you. There's a human side of, it's just not Julia the robot that I mean, you present that very, very well right now. And I want to commend that.
Yeah.
And if you have a team, I commend the team is doing good work.
Yeah. Shout out to your team. Shout out to you. I think I'm going to go back a little bit, piggybacking on the question I said about missing something, in your youth. I personally feel that needs to be said is that your sacrifice has given you the ability to do for others down the road what they couldn't do for themselves. So I think even though you took the sacrifice, you get to sit at the top, at the right hand, like Jesus in heaven. I'm just throw that in there. He sits at the right hand of the Father. So your sacrifice earned you the position to be able to reach low, to pull high. And I think that's very commendable. So you didn't miss it, but the people that missed you now get to see you be there for them when you couldn't be there for them when they were down low, if that makes sense. So they don't miss you. Now they get to see, oh, that's why. This is why she was this way. This is why you get to do that, and you get to live that. And like he said, your social media presence, and I even messaged you about that. I was like, that's my Julia right there. That's the one I see. That's the one I see. That's the one I saw on the sidewalk across the street. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And many don't know this, but I sent you a text. And when I think about you, I see you here, but I see you here. And I always text you. I'll be like, I see you. You send me a text, and I posted something about the Future G Studio. And you go, I'm paraphrasing, but you know damn well I'm designing that 2G studio, right?
You know, shut up, right?
And I was just like, I got it. And I'm reading the text like, but I didn't put that up there for you. But it was that moment where you were like, you reached down. And I don't know if you know the impact that man, I could cry just for you. What? You over there reaching for tissues. We said we weren't crying when we started that, but just for you for me, I just see that visual of just the hand coming down and just like, I see you, Big Mike. And I was just like, wow. And I told you. So I'll send a text like that. I'm that guy. For those that know that are in my circle, and she's on, I'll send you a text out the blue. Yo, I was just thinking about you. I hope your day's good. 60 Cal, what's up? Jay, what's up? Kyle, what's up? Chris, what's up? Triple D, what's up? Y'all know who you are. But that's how I roll. So I was like, for you to send me that text, I just wanted to tell you thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. That meant a lot to me.
Because she's inspiring.
Yeah, like me. Like you. And she said
that's
the
her
key
mission.
word, impact. And we
Impact.
talk about that all
Every
the
day.
time, you and I.
Yep, all the time
How
we
can the
talk about
G's be impactful?
I know we're getting short of time.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you about what's happening in New York City.
Okay.
Because I am a huge fan of the city. No fan.
He's a big
I hate
fan.
the word fan. Remember I
No,
told you
let's just
that
keep
whole
it real.
fan.
No, we transparent. He a big fan,
No,
bro.
I'm not a fan.
This dude comes over. I know we got 6 minutes, but
my God.
I'm gonna say he comes over and he got me watching live stream feeds of New York City of these guys on YouTube walking around, and I'm sitting on my couch like watching these dudes. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yo, babe, Julia's office is right around here somewhere. Cal told me. So I'm like, maybe we'll see her walking the street. But anyway, this dude a fan. This dude is a fan.
Okay.
We going to New York and we gonna go, he gonna take me
Anyway.
around. But anyway.
Okay, change the word fan.
Yeah, okay.
I don't like the fan.
All right.
Because I used to always tell people that with me, when you walk in a room and
Yeah.
there's people
Yeah.
that you like want to meet,
Right.
fans ask for pictures.
Yeah.
Peers shake hands.
Yeah.
So I don't like the word fan.
Okay.
But I'm a big New York guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the goal and everything. But I think that city lights a fire under you.
Absolutely.
So what is it from your perspective? I've shared my personal thing.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
New York do to you?
Yeah.
What does New York do to Julia?
The interesting thing is that to me in New York, I feel like I'm nobody.
Come on, keep going. Don't stop.
And
Don't,
that just lights the fire inside me that's always been on, just even bigger because like there's so much to do. There's so much to accomplish. There's so much, and you're just one small little person in this big place. And I think there's just something about that where you aren't, I don't know, that big or that important.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Hello?
Yeah.
There's just something about just not feeling that big and that important that, I don't know,
I agree.
that pushes me.
Yes.
Okay.
I told Mike this. I said, you know what, Mike? New York is going to pull out another level of Calvin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to draw out a level of Calvin that I've been desiring for a long time to get there.
Yeah.
In the preparation in Charlotte and all this stuff, but New York's going to pull that out. And I'm the same way. I get in the city. It's busy. You can name all these things. People go, oh God, Calvin, it's dirty there.
Right.
What are you looking at?
Right.
I love the fact that New Yorkers are walking so fast. The speed of it is just enticing. But I feel like this is a place where the best of the best is at. And I am just down this little pebble in the challenge of coming off this little speck on the sidewalk.
Right.
And the race, that's where it's at. That challenge of that draws me.
Yeah.
But you're a visual person.
Yes.
I can imagine you living in New York City for 20 years, and you still walking down the street going,
That's one reason why I love it so much, because it's so inspiring.
yes.
Yeah.
There's so much art, there's so much culture, so
Yes.
much design. It's so inspiring for anyone who's a creative. There's
Yep.
just so much.
Y'all
And
got me ready.
we're talking about energy,
I'm ready
right?
to go.
Energy
Yes.
in a room. Talk about an energy in a city. It's just the energy of that city is completely different.
I'm talking any time of the day or night. I get up and I hit the streets as fast as I can, even if I'm taking a morning walk. It's just instant energy.
Yeah.
You can open your window and the sound of New York, you go out on your balcony and go, whoa. You just breathe it in, man. Well, I do. And
Right,
it's funny.
right.
People laugh at me go,
No.
Cal, I was walking down the street and, God, dude, I smelled urine.
Yeah.
And I'm going,
Yeah, you can do that in Charlotte.
dude, I'm thinking to myself, and?
Yeah. What are you
Dude,
looking at?
what do
Like you said.
I mean, dude, I'm absorbing the energy. And then you want to talk about New York. It's that you have to shut off in New York. I do. I literally go in, I'm just in the vibe and meeting to meeting or this network, or not network even, but this meeting to this podcast or whatever it is. And then all of a sudden it's like, you get back to the place, it's like, how do I cut this off? Close the windows, do everything. I don't want to, if I hear New York, I'm vibed.
Right.
I'm talking about from the time I get off the plane, it is just like I'm plugged in. So I just laugh when you send these pictures like, you're killing me.
Yeah.
But you also have to say that you're on this constant high.
Yeah.
And
you have to find
sometimes
something.
you need to calm down, which now coming back to Charlotte
yes, you have to.
is just very much vacation.
Yeah.
Not that I'm ever on vacation,
Right,
but
right. I'm following you. I'm following you.
It's almost like going,
it just slows down.
Slows down. Like
Cali's like that for me, especially me and him. And Jamaica's like that for us too. But I went to New York for a quick drop in, so I didn't get to experience like that. So I'm excited to go back, especially with you, and be able to go as a creative and just absorb. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait.
I've done stuff crazy. Stuff like I went to Brand Park, just lay in the grass, and just literally lay there, or go to movie night at Brand Park, go to Central Park. That was my way of unwinding from the dude. I was just.
Yeah, you got me pumped. Y'all got me pumped. And then I see her stuff, and then I'm like.
You know, that makes me feel good that you're watching that. I do watch the live New York.
Yeah.
Like, I get on a treadmill if it's raining. This may sound crazy. I get on a treadmill and I put on one of those people walking through the city. And I walk like I'm walking down the street.
I didn't even think about that, though. You should take the water bottle and dump it on you so you feel like it's raining. Put a little mist machine with a fan. So you're in that environment, man.
No, I do love
that
the
4D
city.
theater.
I do love the city a lot.
Yeah.
And there is a new version. Of
I'm excited. I'm ready to go to New York. I told y'all both. I'm ready.
I get excited. I stood in front of a Catholic church going, wow, that was in 1800.
Yeah. No,
like,
that's real.
Damn, they were that good.
We were looking at something the other day. It was a brownstone that was from like 1850. That was, it was you and I. It was like 50 million, 32 million to purchase that place.
Piece of cake.
But 1850 though.
Dude,
from year
1850.
That's. I got to get him.
I think was that. I think it was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was some.
It's some old ones.
It was crazy.
Way down like toward.
Dang, man,
and stuff like that.
That time went quick, bro.
No, because we got talking, man. And
I know.
You ended with New York City, so I'm hyped now, man.
That might be a clue. That might have to do one in New York. We're gonna do one in New York.
Let's do a live pod. Let's do it. Let's do it in the park.
Yeah, we can
stop people as they go about.
Yeah. We can stop them like, hey, what's up?
They will
Julia
stop.
around.
They will stop because I have been.
Really?
It's a very New York
people,
thing.
People walked up to me all the time and said, how you doing now?
Oh, wow.
Especially in her area.
All right, we got to do that.
Soho and all that stuff.
Yeah. Did you have fun? This was good, man. This was good. Shout out to mom and dad.
Again.
Shout out to the Kappler group. Man, y'all are doing big things. I'm proud of y'all, man. This is just good stuff.
It's just getting started. That's what's.
Yeah.
You really just getting started.
Yeah, you getting started.
Just getting started.
Next time we have to talk about that guy that's gonna be in your life. That special guy.
Crap.
What that's like. We didn't even get into.
We're gonna talk about my guy.
Yeah. We gotta talk about your guy. We gotta talk about that special guy, man.
Look at our producer,
Jordan. Jordan's like, oh, Dad, he's killing me. He's like, yeah, we gotta find that. There's a special guy out there for this one, but you gotta go through Blaquemozes, a 60 cal. You gotta come correct, and he might be a plumber, but he's gonna be a good guy. He's gonna be a good guy.
They're the way the world of plumber can do it.
I tell you one thing, it's not gonna be a plumber.
Is that plumber?
Plumber Bob. Wait. Hey Bob. Hey Julia, you need your pipes? Yeah. Hey Cal. Hey buddy. Hey, watch your fake friends, man. Read the room. There's some gems dropped on this episode.
Big time, man.
Big time gems. We thank Julia for coming out and just blessing us with their presence and that wisdom and knowledge. And you just a gem, my buddy. You a homie. This little homie right here, German chocolate right here next to me, running things, running Fortune 500. We doing big things in the Kappa group. We appreciate you. I can't wait to come to New York, check her out, check the office out, be in the city, get the energy, get the creative vibe, and just have a good time with my boy 60 Cal. You know how we do. We the 2Gs. What you got for him, bro?
Might not come back.
Yeah, we might not come back. We might not come back. Put a 10 on Bryant Park.
Central Park.
Just camp out with a 2G's tent. Man, stop, man. We trying not to laugh. We started out silly in here. Yeah.
We weren't supposed to laugh, too.
Yeah. We were a little bit more
That
serious.
worked
We
out
were
very
reserved
well.
this
Yeah, we were
time.
more serious.
We were a little reserved. We had to make sure we picked her brain and got some good info, man. But
Yeah.
follow us on all social media platforms. You know the deal.
All the deal.
We got some stuff coming up. He's working on some things. We're going to meet some people out there. But what you got, Cal?
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Yeah.
Great having you back again.
Yeah.
It's always pick some nuggets from you.
Yeah.
And like I said, you brought a little bit of that. You always bring a little bit of that energy from New York with you,
Yeah.
so I appreciate that. Appreciate that vibe, man.
Yeah.
Once you wear it, man, you can't take it off, bro. So thanks for bringing a little bit of that New York vibe.
Yeah.
And, I can't wait till she starts,
Yeah.
that German mixed with that Brooklyn accent.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Mom's brand, man. Why don't you shout out Mom's brand?
Yeah,
Her
man.
purses, her company, man. There's some things that Mom is doing. I'm just like, man, it's beautiful. I'm getting one of those purses too, Mom. I'm just letting you know. I'm getting my order in for sure. I'm about to blow you up just like I did Academia. I hope y'all like that. Yeah. What's up? What you got for him, Julia?
I don't
Take us home.
think I have-
Take us home.
Take us home.
Take us out of here. Come on, boss.
I don't think I have a very great closing line this
That doesn't
time.
matter.
So
Just be you.
I know. I think we touched on just a lot
Yeah.
of
Just be you.
Yeah, just be you.
yeah.
The girl on the sidewalk. Bumping Tupac.
They're going.
Big booty up. Boom, boom.
You never live in that down.
Yeah. You never live in that down
You never
German
live in that
chocolate.
down.
All right. She ain't got nothing to say, but she's gonna
She said it all.
She said it all. She did a lot. This is my homie to my right, Julia Vanessa Kappler, and then to my far right is my boy Calvin Moore, 60 Cal. We appreciate you guys tuning in. We appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Can I get one comment?
Dude,
One comment.
We get DMs. We don't get.
Yeah, we get DMs. You leave me a comment saying you saw this. I'll send you a 2G's mug. How about that? Get your little 2G's mug right there.
throwing out incentives.
Drink your coffee. Yeah, we'll throw one out there. See who does it. We appreciate you guys watching.
All right,
we
Randy,
out of
you
here.
got that cup.
Peace and love. We out.
Thanks.